Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. I know they're getting tired. They look hungry and they need to go to the restroom probably, so I won't be that long. First of all, thank you for your service. I can't imagine starting a new team from scratch. I can't imagine that. I never had to do it in football and just had 120 players. In general, you got your hands full, and thank you for your service and an important service. And Admiral, I like your forcefulness in terms of, hey, we need to modernize at the end of the day. You've had a team for a long time, or we've had a team that's getting old, and we need new players, and we need new equipment. And I like what our secretary says, we can afford survival, and he's exactly right. All the money we're spending, we can afford it. You know, growing up, we were all in a space race, General, and we're in a new one now. It's competition that we've got to win. The Chinese have weaponized space. Sadly, many in our country don't understand that American life depends on our secure and reliable access to space, whether it's the GPS in our phones or watching a football game. Admiral Richard, you're a native of the great state. And General Dixon, I know you've worked at Huntsville as Army Missile Command, and you both understand firsthand that Alabamians stand firmly behind our men and women in uniform. Alabama's industry stands behind our military. Alabama and Redstone Arsenal are ready for Space Command, but many people in this room probably don't understand Redstone. Redstone's been involved with space operations for 70 years. NASA's only facility on a military base is the Marshall Space Flight Center. The largest consumer of space products is the U.S. Army and Army Missile Command, and has been at Redstone Arsenal since it was established in 1962. Space technology won't just be developed by the government to outpace China and Russia, which is going to be a challenge. We need private industry. The area around Redstone boasts 800 suppliers and contractors building the very latest in space technology. I was at Redstone 3 weeks ago, and Redstone has the land for Space Command to grow as your mission expands. It's dedicated 64 acres behind the fence as Space Command, and as the base has temporary spaces for you right now if needed. So General, I'm looking forward to calling the great state of Alabama your home, and Admiral, you're welcome to come anytime. General Dixon, thank you for your productive call last week. My colleague asked how much of a civilian workforce we might move to Huntsville. I'd like to follow up on that question. First, how much do your civilian workforce have you hired, and how many people do you intend to hire in the future?
Senator, my approved manning document is about 60% civilian. To date, we've hired probably about not quite a third of that into the command. The command right now is about a third of what our end strength will be, so we're a little over 600. Some of that's contractor, some of that's civilian, some of that's military. And so as we look to the future, you know, we are absolutely looking at incentives that we can provide to our civilian workforce. They are absolutely the bedrock of the command today and in the future. And so we'll look at how we can try to incentivize our civilian workforce in terms of making the move to Alabama. But I can't give you, like I said earlier, I can't give you a prediction on what that percentage will be. There's a lot of factors that go into it. What we can do, though, is try to incentivize them through motivation in terms of wanting to work with the command and some other things that we'll consider as well.
Well, we're proud that the Secretary of Air Force selected Alabama as home for Space Command. And how do you see the National Guard implementing that at all? Do you at all in the future in Space Command and Space Force?
Senator, as we speak now, the reserve component is a very important part of U.S. Space Command. Matter of fact, when we stood up or we established about 20 months ago, one of our biggest elements or components within the command was the reserve component. It was the reserves and the National Guard. That's a very important part of the command. They bring a great deal of expertise and knowledge to the command. I see that in the future too. We will always, as part of Space Command, have the reserve component as an element within the command.
Admiral Richard, Russia and China are prioritizing investments to compete and win across the range of strategic capabilities, especially with regard to nuclear and space capabilities. Do you believe we're behind the curve?
Senator, I have what I need today to deter, to do what the President's asked me to do. But I need it modernized, right? There's no remaining margin. We cannot extend or delay any of the modernization programs for me to continue to say that in the future.
Do we have the technology we need?
Senator, yes, right now. The one area that we are working the hardest on to make sure we're fully taking advantage of new technologies is in the nuclear command and control system. We've got the next 5 years locked in pretty tight, trying to make sure that we take full advantage of technological development, both from the commercial sector and the government sector, will be keys to improving that in future iterations.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.